Amongst all the mass deportations and rolling back on DEI, you would think that palm coloreds, especially palm color men, are not being targeted or even affected. But today's video is gonna prove you wrong, as some palm color men are even seen crying in some of these videos over the mass layoffs that have taken place in the land of the free after the Trump train cut off funding in some institutions such as US Ed and other areas of the land of the free. And in today's video, we are joined by these palm color people and some people that have just been laid off after voting for the Trump train and how much regret they just feel. So if you're ready to have this conversation, don't forget to smash that like button and also just leave your thoughts in the comments and let us know what you think after watching these experiences. Let's begin now without wasting much of your time, and don't forget to stick around until the end.
So, because of Trump, I just lost my job. Yeah. In fact, my entire department just lost their jobs. I was one of the head research analysts in charge of discovering how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. But according to our government, that answer doesn't matter anymore. I mean, all those years, all that research, it's just gone. And you know the craziest part is now the world may never know the answer to how much wood could a woodchuck chuck. I'm sorry. Thank you for listening.
I regret my vote. I never thought I'd say that, but I regret my vote. I voted for Trump. And now, in the first few weeks of his presidency, thousands of people are losing their jobs. I lost my job. I was the director of operations of bear studies. For the last 4 years, we've been studying whether or not bears in fact shit in the woods. And now it's gone. It's all gone. What am I supposed to tell my family? What am I supposed to tell them? If you voted for Trump, I don't even know what to say except F you. All the money being taken, and all the jobs being lost. I don't know what to do.
Well, you guys, it happened. Lost my job today after 13 years. Never thought a president could affect me this much. Never. Donald Trump. Guess now we'll never know how many licks it takes to get to the senator of the Tootsie Pop roll.
Alright guys, I just wanted to jump on here and talk to you guys about something really important. And you know, I didn't have any internet. We had a really bad storms, you know, come through, and I didn't have internet, so I couldn't share this. But you know, for the last 12 years I've been on a USAID team, and I just found out that I'm fired. Like, I have no more income that I use to provide for my family, my little farm, children, you know, all of it. It's gone. So, you know, my job was working with the rejected VAL team. And in this job, we were trying to figure out why old McDonald only used E-I-N-O. What happened to A? What happened to you? Because I'll tell you what happened to me is I got fired. And now I'm starting over at square one. So for anybody else that has important jobs like these, Doge is coming for you. I'm starting over. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. Sorry, I had to go grab a tissue. You know, this is over a decade of my life. Gone in an instant. It's tough. So I would appreciate everybody's kindness right now. It's really tough.
Well, because of Trump, today I just lost my job. As a matter of fact, my whole department lost their jobs. People with families, children. We are a research analyst department researching how much wood could a woodchuck wood if a woodchuck could chuck wood. All that research down the drain. Will never be, I guess the government doesn't care. The answers will never be answered now. How much can a woodchuck wood if a woodchuck could chuck wood? The answer is not important, I guess, to anyone anymore. It's very sad. I want to thank you guys all for listening to me. It's been a very sad day. Thank you so much for listening.
I never thought this day would come. Well, I'm gonna regret what I did. I really regret voting for this guy. I'm working on this program for the sound power phones batteries. We're researching these batteries for these sound power phones, and they cut off our funding. It is really sad. You get to the office and they tell you, we're no longer going to fund your research for these batteries for these sound power phones. And you know what makes me sad is that these batteries were going to make such an impact on the lives of our deployed troops, especially the sailors out there. And these are for vital communications on board ships. So I truly regret now my vote. And I hope more people speak up just like I did.
So I am officially taking the hat off. I've never been more ashamed of a vote in my entire life. For the past 10 years, I've been a government employee, and the department I work for has been shut down by Elon Musk walking in like some new age sheriff. We have worked and worked and worked tirelessly for 10 years. This close. I'm not joking. We were this close to finding out exactly how much wood a woodchuck could chuck. And now funding's gone. You know what? I can't.
This is interesting news. Isn't Ford the same company that gave $1 million to Trump's inauguration? They also gave him some vehicles for this event. But I'm not going to rag on them too much because honestly, they give equal amounts of money to the Republican and Democratic Party, but they really don't give a lot. So I'm thinking that the $1 million that he's bestowing on Trump for his inauguration was so that Trump would play nice. But people are not understanding that Trump doesn't care. He's going to stab anyone and everyone in the back. What did he say about JD Vance? He don't see him as the next president. Why? Because he sees himself still being in that position. And we know that because Trump actually said you don't ever have to worry about voting again. Anyway, the CEO, Jim Farley, said his company could be forced to lay off employees if Trump administration ends subsidies and financial support for electric vehicle manufacturing. And let me tell you the 4 states that are mostly going to be affected, which is Ohio, Michigan, Kentucky, and Tennessee. And what he's saying, if Republicans repeal Biden-era legislation that allocated billions of dollars in subsidies and loans for the project, many of those jobs will be at risk. We already know that. And what Ford was really focused on was making a fleet of electric vehicles. In 2022, they invested $1.5 billion in the Ohio assembly plant in Avon Lake. Can you imagine all the job loss in that particular area after you make that crazy initial investment of $1.5 billion? I don't even know what to say. How do we fight this? Because they are destroying everything from within. Anyway, you guys have a blessed day.
No, I just got to be honest. I hope I can be honest about this and people don't get mad at me. The left and the right might get mad at me about this, but me seeing that press conference with Trump and how Elon was standing while he was sitting, which is a power move. They actually teach you in school when you're a healthcare provider not to do that to people because it's very disrespectful. And then to watch that little boy picking his nose to tell the President of the United States to shut up and that he was not president, I almost felt sorry for Trump. I almost felt sorry for him. It's almost like elder abuse.
They are brave, they are courageous, they are strong, and they are determined. And I'm talking about palm color men, everybody. And if you see a palm color man crying, such as we've seen in today's video, then you know that things are actually shaking. Palm color men are the pride of the land of the free. You know, at least when I was seeing palm color women being laid off, I thought it was gonna end there. But palm color men, come on. Who expected that? Like, who saw that coming? Yeah, we did hear those farmers complaining about, oh, the government cut off funding and I might just sell my farm or even my cattle, you know. But I didn't realize that it was going to escalate to this level. So cutting down the US aid, a big institution such as that has gone all over the world, like in all countries, not just picky, you know, we're talking about all over the world. And this was the influence that the land of the free just harbored towards these countries. And I was listening to this podcast concerning what might take place, you know, because you know that the land of the free was using this influence, right, to even make the dollar the safe haven for investors. The way the land of the free used to operate with this influence, it would always result to the stabilization and increase in the value of the dollar. So this person that I was watching was just talking about how devastating it can become for the economy of the land of the free. Because look at it this way, the land of the free is trying to make itself an island, you know, by cutting off allies such as Canada. And how are they doing that? By imposing tariffs. Now, as much as we have not seen an official statement yet, but we remember having those discussions concerning how much the Trump has imposed the tariffs on aluminum and steel products that are coming from other countries, because he says that he wants the land of the free to be producing their own stuff, right? And Canada also came on and saying, now we're not going to let that happen and all that. So Canada used to be an ally of the land of the free. And it's not just Canada. We're talking about other European countries as well. He is proving his words. And he's a preacher that practices what he preaches, I guess. Now, you know that this discussion wouldn't be complete without people's perspectives online. So I went to ABC News' video that they uploaded, and I just wanted to see some of the people's comments down in the comment section. So let's just read them together. So the first comment says, as a federal employee, I am so stressed. So this person is stressed. The other comment says, of course, on a Friday. And he put this heartbroken emoji, you know, like a love, and then it's got a crack in the middle. He is heartbroken. The other one says, imagine if a private or public company had billions of dollars unaccounted for, what would happen to that company? I'm not really sure what this person is suggesting, but you leave your thoughts in the comments. And this other one says, this is fantastic. I guess this one isn't affected. The other one says, yes, yes, yes. Hanford. The other one says, the other comment says, my son, who has 3 years under his belt as a forestry aide and 3 weeks from being off probation period, was let go, stating bad performance. Same reason for all of them. So these people are being let go because of bad performance, they are saying. But is that true? Or is this just the reason that they're using to lay them off? The other comment says, yes, perfect. Thank you, Mr. President. The other one says, I agree. There's too many employees working. The other one says, people keep saying efficiency as if efficiency doesn't often come at the cost of effectiveness. There is a trade-off. You are less output from fewer people. It's never equivalent. The other one says, so scary indeed, my friend. The other one says, this is awesome. The other one says, if companies can randomly do it when they ain't making money, then so can the government. I don't see anything wrong here. I have been laid off twice. It sucks, but I found another in 6 months. So there are some people that are having hope in the midst of all this. But what do you think though? Because some people here are just not really complaining that much. Some people are just accepting the fact that this happens, while some are devastated, like the ones that we saw in that video that Chuck Wood. I know those were just not real jobs. I know. Perhaps their jobs require them to sign some sort of document where they're not supposed to like expose what they were doing exactly in the government. So I do get that. And those are serious people's reactions there that got fired. So you know that there was something that they were doing in these federal offices that they can't just come and publicly speak out, because who knows what would happen. Maybe they would be called back, and if that video is spread, you wouldn't return. Now, let's hear out what this media outlet wrote about this mass layoff that was carried out by the Trump administration. So it's written, probation of federal employees who lost their jobs on Thursday as part of the Trump administration's mass firing of government workers expressed shock and anger at the terminations, which they contend will hurt the government's ability to provide services. People were furious that they were just being laid off, and that was their reaction. Now, President Trump is moving quickly to shrink the U.S. federal government, the nation's largest employer, saying he is slashing wasteful spending and pushing to make the nation's civil workforce more responsive to his administration's policies. So he's looking for efficiency here. At least that's what we're given in this report. And when you want to be efficient, most groups that are efficient, at least in my own understanding, are those that are fewer in number. Like you've heard of how some Chinese companies, such as DeepSeek AI, that created their AI with less money compared to OpenAI. So in that perspective, you would say that DeepSeek AI was more efficient with their funds, because it required billions of dollars to create OpenAI compared to DeepSeek. And this is also one current conversation that is being had here. And I think Trump, in my own perspective, is trying to move in that direction, and so he is slashing down these federal employees. But you leave your own thoughts in the comments as well. So federal workers in probationary period typically have less than 1 year on the job and have not yet gained civil service protection. So that perspective also suggests that they haven't been involved in the system, submerged that much, that they're able to get its protection. So federal workers who received termination notices on Thursday described receiving non-personalized emails informing them they had been removed from their position with title communication from their supervisors. We remember these emails. We remember how Elon Musk fired the Twitter, I believe, workforce, as well as Tesla, or how he just sent them these emails. Like, this is exactly how he carries out his procedures. So people are just upset that he came in their offices as this, I don't know, and just fired them, But it's all efficiency that they are looking for, I guess. The workers said that they had entered public service because of a commitment to serve the public interest, whether by helping protect consumers from predatory financial services or by supporting veterans. So this is the people's commitment that were working in these federal departments, and they're just expressing this stress over them getting the boot. But what do you think about everything that's going on here? And considering the fact that most of those people that we saw in today's video were actually Trump supporters putting on MAGA hats, and they just threw them off or took them off in front of our camera saying that I regret my vote, this and that. I don't know, but there's still hope. There are a lot of companies out there that would need these people's experience and expertise. So I believe not all hope is lost. But what do you think? With that being said, and remember, FAFO season continues. So don't forget to smash that like button and also subscribe if you want to see more videos like this.